everybody. Today we are going to be doing a full body flow class. This is going to be vinyasa style, incorporating flowing from one pose to another, utilizing that breath, calming ourselves, and getting ready for our week ahead. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started in child's pose. Child's pose, we're going to bring our toes together, knees slightly apart, send the hips back, reach the fingertips long, and bring the forehead down to the mat. From here, in child's pose, with your forehead to the ground or resting on a block, start focusing on that breath, taking deep inhales through the nose and out through the mouth. Deep breath in and gradually begin to transition into that pranayama or yogi breathing, where you're breathing deeply through the nose, sealing the lips, and exhaling through the nose, creating that nice calming sensation, the wind in the back of your throat. Inhale, we're going to come up into a tabletop position, flowing through cat-cow. Inhale, dropping the belly, taking the crown of the head and the tailbone to the sky. Exhale, rounding out the spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale. And exhale. Walking the hands forward, keeping the hips elevated, coming into puppy. Pressing through the palms, getting a nice stretch and opening through the back and shoulders. And slowly walking it in, taking a moment to shift the hips side to side. Almost like you're wagging your tail. And finding stillness here. You're going to take a rib cage side to side, keeping the hips steady, moving through that spine. Reaching the right arm up to the sky, rotate that wrist. And thread the needle, passing it through, bringing that shoulder down to the mat, and opening that arm behind you. And release, bring it up to the sky. Rotate it again. And coming down into spinal balance, extending the left leg out, right arm. You're going to lift, lower, and lift, and lower. Pull that belly button up towards the spine. Nice straight line. Lift, and lower. We're going to lift, inhale, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. And extend. One more time, inhale. And extend, reach in long. Coming back down, sitting back, child's pose. Inhale back to a tabletop position. Left arm up, rotate that wrist. Both directions. And thread the needle. You're going to pass that arm underneath, bringing that left shoulder to the ground, reaching the right arm up, bringing it back around. Always the option to just keep this arm down in front if you want. Really pull those shoulders open, keeping the alignment of the neck and spine. Great pose for releasing tension today, coming back around. Let's pull that arm up, back to the sky, rotate it around, bringing it back down to the mat. We're going to reach left leg out, right arm. Left arm out, right leg. Sorry about that. And lower. And lift. And lower. And lift. Lower. Lift, reach long, pull that belly button, neutralize that spine. Gaze down at the mat. Inhale, bring it in, elbow to knee. Exhale, extend it out. Inhale. And extend. And inhale, bring it in. Extend it out, hold. And let's tuck our toes, coming into our first downward dog. Pedal out the legs. And pressing the heels towards the mat. Rotate the inside of those elbows towards the middle, like you're bringing them towards the front. Really spread your fingertips out, lift up through the wrists, through the kneecaps. And inhale, finding that plank pose. Back to down dog. Taking the right toes to the sky. Just go ahead, open that leg up. And extend and pull it through, finding our low lunge, dropping the bottom knee, reaching up to the sky. And coming down, taking that leg back to plank and lower into that chaturanga down to the mat. Inhale up to that cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale back to that downward facing dog. Taking the left toes to the sky. Open them up, bringing that heel towards your backside, opening that hip. Inhale, lengthen that leg and pull it through. Finding that kneeling lunge on the other side. Reaching the arms up. Inhale, bringing it down. Stepping back to plank and lower down. High to low plank, holding it here. All the way down into cobra. And lower. And tuck the toes. Once again, finding our downward facing dog. Inhale, look towards the top of your mat and step one foot, then the other. Coming into the halfway lift. Flat back. Forward fold. Holding this forward fold for a minute. Hinging at the hip. Soften the knee. Bringing that chest towards the thighs. Finding that nice base in your feet. Let's wiggle the toes. The distributed between the balls of the feet and the heels. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale. Finding mountain pose. Moving into our sun salutations today. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms up. One breath, one movement. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping the right foot back, then the left. And chaturanga, lowering halfway down or all the way down. Coming into that up dog or cobra. Tucking the toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right toes high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, down. Stepping back into plank. Downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step the left, then the right. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Sweep the arms up to the sky. Bring them together into prayer. Exhale, pull them down. Pausing at heart center. Mountain pose. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping the left foot, then the right foot, finding that chaturanga or lower all the way down into up dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left toes high. Exhale, pulling it through, finding that low lunge, dropping that back knee, reaching forward, and bringing it down. Keeping our balance in mind. Downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step the right, then the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up, overhead, and finding mountain pose. And up. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping the right foot, then the back foot, and lower down chaturanga, high to low plank, up dog, and downward facing dog. Taking right toes high, holding it here for a minute. Option to drop that foot back into your wild thing. When you're ready, coming back around, extending the toes long, pulling them forward into crescent lunge. Back leg extended, pulling the arms up, overhead, holding the crescent lunge, pulling them into heart center, and finding that twist. Taking that left elbow, resting it gently on that right knee. Option to lower that back leg if you'd like. Really press those shoulders open. Inhale, center. Exhale. Take it down to a plank and downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Stepping the left foot, then the right. Halfway lift. And forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Option here to take that back bend. And seal. In mountain pose. Inhale up. Last sunny today. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping the left, then the right, shifting forward, chaturanga, high to low plank. Up dog, and downward facing dog. Inhale, taking the left toes high, and option to drop them down into that wild thing. And coming back around, taking those toes high again, pulling them all the way through, finding that crescent lunge, reaching tall. Back leg nice and straight. And pulling Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, find in that twist. Using that breath. Inhale, up. Exhale, taking it down. Stepping back to plank. Downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Stepping the right, then the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, finding chair pose. Taking a moment in your chair. Feet just hip width, distance apart or closer. Hips sitting back, knees over the ankles, adjusting that pelvis so you have nice alignment and comfortable. Arms can be up here or at heart center. We're gonna hold chair here. And we're gonna step back into warrior one. Planting that back foot on the mat, all four corners of the foot. So we're not rolling it forward or rolling it back. Hips facing front. Inhale, open it up, warrior two. Widening that stance as needed. Rotating open through the hip. Imagine this knee is right against a wall. Over the ankle, in line with the toe. Really pressing that mat in opposite directions. Straightening that leg and finding our triangle. Coming down, switching into low lunge or crescent lunge here and popping it up into that standing split. Reaching the toes high, bringing your head towards that base leg. Option to hold on to one leg or your ankle with one hand, then the other. And slowly bring it back into warrior two. And coming right back into chair pose. I'm switching sides here, sitting down in the chair. Stepping back, warrior one. Inhale, warrior two, finding that nice, strong stance. Fingertips nice and long. Straighten that leg. You can shorten that stance a little and just revolve those arms, finding that triangle pose. From here, coming back down into that low lunge, popping that leg up into your standing split, left toes high. Option to take that ankle hold. And lower down. Open it up. Warrior two. And coming to the top of your mat. Once again, chair pose. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant those hands. Take one foot back, then the other. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Taking a moment to rest a cheek on the mat. Arms at the side. Taking a nice resting posture here. Think about getting a nice stretch through that neck. To the floor. Inhale, coming into that baby cobra. lower. Inhale again, coming into that cobra, sliding the hands out and finding Sphinx pose. Palms pressed into the mat, shoulders drawn down and back. Holding this pose here. Breathe. And lower down. Hands to the side, right cheek on the mat. Inhale back to center, crossing the hands, pressing the forehead on the forearms. We're going to inhale, lifting the legs off the mat, reaching the toes long, knees coming off the mat. Think about lengthening into that little curve so you're not crunching back or you're not crunching the spine together, but you're elongating into that C shape or that crescent moon shape. And lower down. Inhale, sit it back. Finding child's pose. Bringing the hands around into traditional child's pose, lifting the hips slightly and tucking the head. Nice stretch through the low back. And lower the hips. Inhale, lower down. Coming into locust, zipping the legs up tight, toes flat on the ground. Bring the hands behind you, interlacing the fingers. Inhale, you're going to reach up into locust. Pulling the upper and lower body off the mat. Opening up the chest. And release. Once again, sitting back, child's pose. Inhale into plank. You're going to take that left arm underneath, open it up into your side plank. Option to take that leg into a star. Holding it here for 4, 3, 2, bring it down. And lower the knees, child's pose. Inhale, center. Taking that left hand underneath, opening the right hand up, finding that nice side plank, taking that leg into that star. Breathing deep for 3, 2, and coming back to center, dropping to the knees, walking it back into that puppy. Reaching strong through the shoulders. Hero's pose. We're going to open the arms up behind us, interlacing the fingers and stretching out the chest. And release. Swinging the legs around. Coming in. Seated position, toes flat on the ground, We're going to lower all the way down to the mat. Pulling the knees up into a tabletop position and taking a little yogi bicycle here, alternating shoulder to knee and switch, hold and switch. And hold. And again. Last one. And extend both legs long, bring the arms into a hollowed out like a canoe. Holding here, deep breaths in. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, and bring the knees into the chest. Placing them down on the mat, finding that hip bridge, palms pressed into the floor, reaching the hips up. Releasing the glute muscles using these upper abdominal muscles and transverse abdominal muscles to pull the hips off the floor. Inhale, extending the right leg up. Holding it here for 3 and 2. And bringing it down, lower, knees into chest, rock side to side. And placing the feet back down, inhale back into that bridge, pressing the palms, nice even platform between the shoulder blades, extending the left toes up, optional movement here. Lower down, lower back, and rock back and forth. Now option here to take a hip bridge again, or come into full wheel, hands, palms towards the back. You're gonna bring them back so they're facing your shoulders, and you're gonna lift with that pelvis, pulling your rib cage towards the sky, bringing that head off the mat, and lift. And when you're ready, lower down, pulling the knees into the chest. Extending your left leg long, pulling the right knee into the chest. Go ahead, extend it. You can use a strap or a towel. You can hold on to that calf, or you can take that toe lock and you're just gonna let that leg gradually fall open to the side. Keeping both hips on the mat, so don't let it pull you. Pull that hip off the mat. So just take it as far as you can with both hips grounded into the mat. Using that breath, gravity will help you out. Slowly bend the knee, coming back to center, and switching hands. This time that left hip or that right hip will come off the mat, shoulders staying in contact. Inhale, center. once again, pull that knee into the chest. And extend it long, pulling that left knee in. Nice and tight. Extending it towards the sky. Always okay to have a soft bend in that knee. Finding whatever position is easiest for you and letting it slowly come open. Keeping that right hip grounded into the mat. Using that breath to relax those muscles right in through the groin, through the outer thigh. And slowly coming up. Switching sides here. You may find one side is a lot tighter than the other. I just discovered how extremely tight my left hip is right now. Taking a little modification here. That knee into the chest, both legs rock side to side. Extending the toes up to the sky and just taking some nice ankle movements here. You can flex and point. You can rotate the ankles. If you want to scissor out the legs, just taking whatever movement you'd like. To come into that shoulder stand. Letting gravity help with that circulation. And slowly making your way into happy baby. Taking a nice rock side to side. You can bend and extend each leg. Finding that straddle if you'd like. Just taking a few moments to move around. Once again, pulling your knees into your chest and then finding your final Shavasana. Letting the toes fall open. Letting your hands rest on the floor. Letting that breath come back to normal. Feeling any residual stress, tension or anxiety melt away into the earth. As you feel lighter and more at ease. Taking the next few moments to lay here in a calm, peaceful state, feeling your body heavy and motionless, melting into the ground. stay in this final Shavasana as long as your time allows, taking advantage of these moments of peace and clarity and solitude. If you are ready to move on, bring movement back to your body, wiggling the fingers and toes, taking one knee, then the other to the chest, and slowly coming into a sideline position, using that bicep as a pillow. Just taking a moment to maybe open your eyes, engaging in some more deep breaths. And slowly making your way up into an easy seated position, crossing the legs. Dropping your left ear to your right shoulder. And center. And left ear to left shoulder. And center. Inhale, bringing the arms up overhead, finding that prayer, and pulling it to heart center. Taking another moment to close our eyes. Remembering to have patience for the things that we cannot control. Strength for the things that we can. And the wisdom to know the difference. Up to third eye with those thumbs, bowing forward in close. Namaste. Thank you so much for flowing through this class with me. So important to just take these moments to move our bodies, to stretch, to find that inner strength, and to breathe. We will talk to you very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your week.